So David, originally your fight wasn't the co-main event on this card, and then they elevated it up to that spot. What was your reaction with that, and did they give you any explanation why they decided to ultimately put you in this spot?
Um, I wasn't really aware of that. I was so like immersed in my training, and I've been really focused for this one. And but like it's always an opportunity for me to showcase my skills. I think a fight between me and Jack is going to be a very exciting one, and I think that it's going to be it was probably a good option for them to raise it up to co-main.
Absolutely, and I know the last one didn't go the way you wanted, but to get this spot on ESPN, so high profile, it gives you, I'm sure, a big platform, a big opportunity to kind of erase that memory and just move forward with another big win, right?
Absolutely, that's what I came here to do, and I'm prepared to do that. I've done everything in my training camp. Everything's good.
And I know the lead up to the last fight was very chaotic, opponent changes, all that kind of stuff. On the night, did any of that come into play, or did things just, you not perform the way you wanted inside the cage, and that's really it?
Absolutely, not to take anything away from my opponent. He beat me. It was a beautiful right hand that he landed on the inside, found the opening. But to my credit, it was I think emotionally I was just like not there. I felt it. During the walk, I was trying to get that fire. And it's not that I lost the fire. It was just that was so much happening to the lead up. It was a lot of things that I was going through personally. A lot of things that I was going through with family, and then on top of it, the opponent switch was just the cherry on top. And it's a learning process, It's you have to remain focused no matter what things are happening, because life can come at you at any time.
Is that the first time anything you've shown up feeling like that, or can you compare it to maybe another previous fight and maybe you end up winning that night or something like that?
No, I've had nights like that. When you just feel like an emptiness there. You're not going with the preparation. It's like you feel like you're just kind of like in a limbo state. You're not reacting to. You're not on the task. I was thinking about in that last fight in MSG, I was thinking about the failures. I was thinking about what if I lose my ranking. This guy's not ranked. I got nothing to win. I thought about all of those things instead of just thinking about the task at hand, which was the most important thing.
When you're in the cage, because I'm thinking of Tyron Woodley when he lost to Cannonier, he came out and straight away said, I just wasn't there, I felt there, similar to you said. When you're in the cage, is that almost like a horrifying moment, like, oh shit, it's happening again, like I'm just not, and how do you get through that in the fight itself?
I mean, for me, I've similar to the champ, like Tyron said, but I have been in a lot of fights, and I've been through things like that in sparring sessions, and for me, I just go into automatic pilot, and I just was fighting, and that's not the way that I fight. I like to use my brain. I like to be exciting and go for devastating finishes, but also use intelligence first. And I wasn't that wasn't the most intelligent approach.
Last fight you were saying, it's a lot of things in the lead up to it that made you feel like that. Have you ever had the night where you've been great and then you come out on fight night and it's just not clicking?
No.
Yeah, that's good.
When I feel good, I feel like I'm unbeatable. I feel like nobody in middleweight division can I can give anybody in the middleweight division problems, and I can be victorious over anybody when I'm mentally there. Like I'm mentally there this time. I don't have a lot of those issues that I dragged in, and a lot of that negative baggage that I was carrying with me.
What did you do differently to prepare for this in terms of the mental side of it? Like you said before, you're worrying about distractions, like your ranking and everything. How do you tune that out and just kind of buckle down and focus?
Because I don't have any control over those things, and I only can focus on the things that I have control of: my preparation, how I train, how I eat, how I sleep, the people that I surround myself around, my coaches. These are the things that I have control over, and these things ultimately manifest into greater things. I can't, 2 months, before the fight, start thinking about what ifs, because you can't control those things.
So the kind of thing where you'd look into like a sports psychologist or something of that nature, is this something that you just deal with your coaches and yourself?
It's just with my coaches. Ozzy Duglamov, one of my coaches, has really worked on this with me. He studies these things. Another one of my coaches, Brian Wright and Dorian Price. These people have experience, and they're men who've been in the game. They've received punches. They've been under the stress of combat. They understand. So they're able to relate and translate these things to me, and I'm receptive to them.
When you see Jared is fighting Anderson Silva now, do you think that, potentially if that went my way, that could have been my fight? And how do you think he does in that fight?
I mean, I wish him the best. That's ultimately a fight that I would definitely in the future like to run back. With proper preparation specifically for him. I'm not too sure. You know, right now I'm just focused on my fight, and I'm not really up for giving predictions for anybody else. You know.
Sure. So, talking about your fight, what do you think about Jack? Give us kind of the scouting report here. He's obviously on his best run in the UFC so far.
Mm-hmm.
What do you just make of what he's been doing and how you guys match up?
I mean, he's a good fighter. You know, he wouldn't be in the UFC if he wasn't. You know, and I've taken him very seriously, and I haven't overlooked any of his abilities. And you know, I've done everything in my power possible to prepare for anything that he's going to do that can be a threat, so I can neutralize these things and cause massive damage.
And last one from me. We're in Philadelphia, so I have to ask everyone: what's your favorite Rocky movie? And why?
It would be Rocky III with Clubber Lang. Where Clubber Lang was actually the hero for me, you know. And I think that in that movie, you know, it is a movie, but you know, Clubber Lang wouldn't have lost the second fight.
You obviously saw Thiago Santos announced as fighting John Jones. You've got a win over him. The last challenger to John Jones, Anthony Smith, a middleweight who moved up. You've held a belt in light heavyweight outside the UFC. Have you given much thought to at some point maybe going back up at this point when you see that kind of success?
I mean, right now I'm just focused on the middleweight division. I have a lot of things and some goals that I want to accomplish here, and it's one fight at a time. I can't even look that far ahead. Right now it's this Saturday against Jack Mason. I have to be victorious.
Thank you, dude.
Thanks a lot.